akanyiriraako
tobale kusiima
omwami akola
kituufu
akola biki nga tomutulaga
no kasi ye ampisa bulungi kyekimatalenga ne bamutamanya
wange si waffe bajja mutwala tolina
wakasibesiga
Sindi oli biki naye mukwano
ndikiriya nnyo ndi okay yes 2020 alitambula bulungi so far
okay
yes
last week twalaba akantu akasaculating ku social media ng'olina Clever J mupanga kaki
Clever J njagala abeereyo concert yange so nali njagala mutuukirira personally manyi oba ng'oyita artist ku show it's always better n'omutuukirira ng'omuntu so nagendayo nafuna abali bamanyi nejaabeera so nengenayo ne mutuukirira naye ne musaba mutongole nti jangu banetudde mutukulabeko naye jangu mu concert yange
mu bayimbi bonna abaliko nga bwe beeyita abamu ng'abantu bwe bayita lwaki walondayo Clever J kwekwa ye muntu yekka gwe twakalaba gwogenza okugambako
okay apart from bano mainstream bemulaba all the time naye njagala kuleeta artist at least gwe muludde okulaba you know Clever J nge omuntu abadde ne yalina hits ennene really big songs ne bwe yaviirako yavaako ng'akyali wakabi so naye njagala okuzza certain things that people have not seen so nendowooza ku Clever J wekumuyita
okay
yes
nakkiriza
bambi was really happy about it nakkiriza yagenda kujja akolemu rehearsal ne bandi kuba ayagala kikuba live
okay
yes atukubira ezo hits zonna zemumanyi ziwaako zonna agenda zitukubira
okay
yes
tuwulire agali mu nkuubo nti nno Shiba waliyogeddeko naye ku kyokujja ku show
I can't right now so confirming a reply yaabwe naye nga njagala mumanye nti nze nganza my team approached them yes about it katulinze okulaba kyekivaayo babakkiriza oba tebakkiriza tutyo kumanya
okay waliwo era rumors circulating nti Shiba yandiva mu TNS ate yes weziri anti nze nzikubuulidde kakati obadde mu solo music for a long time ekintu ekyo bwe kiba kituufu magezi kigoyinza okuwa muyimbi munno
first of all sekyangu Shiba yakigezaako even before TNS nekigaanamu you know at that time it was hard naye ate kati afunye more experience I guess as an artist so agamba nti asobola era asobola naye njagala kimanye kino it's not going to be easy it's really not going to be easy naddala ekya marketing ba artists abasinga obanga wakava mu team your team usually turns against you so oba okolera ekityo but also olwanisa kiri so it's not an easy thing but asobola she can yes
okubeera solo artist
yeah she can be solo it just takes hard work not magic you know it just takes hard work bwalemerako nakola ebyakabeera jasigala nga waka yes
to oyina bansi
yes
tosobola muyita oba olaba tatuukiridde kujja bugondiyo
nze I don't see it about artists into the band oba oyagala kutraininga band okimanyi nti gyeri ojja no auditioninga netulaba oba omalako ne band ekyoka tweyongere naawe oba nedda my girls abali mu band yange can really sing like buli omu alimu waakabi so if you want to be part of it onosooka okitulina nola ntino naawe ojjaamu then you come and audition
okay
yes
show yo tumanyi egenda kubeera live ate omumu ku bantu b'oyagala babeeko ye Shiba tukimanyi bulungi live eyo emukubamuko
yes
munakikwasaganya mutya
kati bwakola rehearsal nnyo okitegeera bwakola rehearsal natakola nnyimba nnyingi I think asobola okikuba bulungi okitegeera tuze tubalaba nga bazikuba nga yes ayinza okuba nga si wakabi nga bola nti obavinka oba ani nti no bwakuba live they're not amazing but olaba nti no they can build basobola okizimba mpolampola nekituuka the only way to do live music is by starting onotandika okole mistakes zo kikule mpolampola mpaka otuuke ku kyoyagala yes
mwina mu kyemuzimba gwe ne bebeko kiki ekyo
kolabo yaffe from 2 years ago I think twakipostinga kaba ne bakira abantu twagala kukola ffenna etupostinga ekifaananyi nga tuli mu studio tufumba kitegeera naye buli we tugenze mu studio vibe tekuteeyo bulungi sometimes tuwuliza biti netanyuma oba byonna bye tusanzeeyo tebitunyumidde bulungi so me and Bebe Cool still tugenda kukola ffenna
Okay.
Yes.
Oba temuli bayimbi balungi gye naye.
Ekyo tekirimu kubuusabuusa. Bebekola ine ennyimba ez'akabe mulaba ajja kuba zihit bulijjo wano, you know. And myself, you can trust me. We've done good music, but when you work together, you want to bring out that simanyi twagala ekintu ekyakabi ate nnyo kikyagana.
Okay.
Yes.
Oba crossings oli mu line ya politics kati.
Nze politics no. I'm not playing politics at all. Naye nze njagala kulinda just that moment okuyingira booth eyo and I vote for my leader gwe njagala. Naye saagala kudda wano ku TV ate tudde mu kubinyumyako saagala buzibu.
Okay. Kakati
muzikirize mbere coward ku ekyo. No, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, lastly, Kenzo show ya Jijayo.
Yes.
Yes. How do you feel?
I feel very happy. I feel really happy in Kenzo show ya Jijayo. Mwebaza nnyo ye ne team ye for making this, you know. Because first of all, I said that I was as a person, as a human being. Then also because in Alugogo cricket over, buli omu mwetaaga, aba Kenzo mwetaaga, aba Shiba, aba Kamili, buli omu mwetaaga. So, you know, it's just knowing that tewali artist mulala kola lunaku. Nzisamuko kumuka nengamboka at least katika nange bulanzi, you know. Naye tewali anninyidde mu kintu. So I'm really happy that you're back in the down.
Okay. Yes. Would you love him okujja na perform?
Absolutely. Namusanga na only recently nenchimuyitira mu koso nagamba we're going to talk about it and alabe schedule ye oba alawo basobola okujja.
Okay, Bombi obayite Rema ne Kenzo.
Bombi ngenda.
Ku stage yemu.
Yes, Bombi bali ba artist bajje bakikube.
Bombi bajje bakikube. Bafani bakakase.
Bombi Kenzo ne remember is a concert yange bajje bayimbe. Yeah, I don't bubabera ku stage, they're not exes, they're artists. They're just artists. Okay. So njagala bajje bakikube ku show because they're both amazing artists. Yes, basubiro kirabo. Oba
kibadde kirudde okubaawo.
Kigenda kubaawo mujje mu kirabo.
Okay, kati yes. Shiba musaba ajje ku concert.
No, I think ekyo saagala kujja wano ku TV kwa si mwe management ya Shiba. Oshitegeera ne wembaga mu moto mwina bo munyamba nino tukirira bo. Era ekyo kye tugenda okukola ne tujja bagoja wo confirm.
Tukulabye ng'otuuka ku stage ng'olina energy mungi. Tulowooze mbu waliwo ky'okozesa oba just manyigo nga gwe sindi.
No, energy wange ava mu kulya bulungi. You know, what you're saying ey'Abaganda wakati java mu kulya kintu ekyo kituufu nnyo. You need to eat well. Bw'olya bulungi amaanyi go obeera ogayina. So I eat well, ngenda mu gym, you know, ne nkola mu katiizi awo bayitawo kya duyiro. I do some exercise, nina rehearsals and never dance and never band because physically I'm very active. So my energy levels are higher than most people who just wait for a show again they don't stage na woka. You know, so I'm a very active person generally. So I'm so your energy jamula back stage. The only thing I take before I go on stage, I take some honey. Omubisi na amazi because we have said you tuyana and you get dehydrated. You come in etanga. Then of course I've eaten well before that, so I always do manigang.
So what makes Cindy, the king herself, so different to other female artists?
First of all, it's live music. You know, nobody gives you a live experience like myself. And that Mugano mainstream. While you, of course, the band chicks who have been doing live for a very long time. Kati boba mani the live music. Never jakwa artists mbabaina hits about the mainstream but money for this our pop culture in Uganda. Nobody gives you a live experience like me. So that's first of all makes me really different. I connect really well with my dancers on stage most of the time, but artists who never dance, never dance. So I'm one of those few artists in Uganda who actually does a routine with the dance, attending Nyimba. So performance I'm different and I am the king herself.
Ekyokubeera so professional, kubeera consistent, ate okubeera nga weekumidde ku mutindo, kubeera nga toddiridde. Kiki ekiri emabega we, what's behind that success?
Nina kyenzimba, so I focus on that. I'm trying to build a brand that is not anywhere in East Africa. You know, I want to inspire women in a way that they have not been inspired yet. Because most of the time, omukazi is successful is because there's a man behind them. There's something behind them. There's a crew behind them. for the first time ever njagala omukazi amanye nti asobola yenga ye kasita yekkiririzamu. So that's what I am building. Kizimbye ebbanga ddene naye kakize kikwatayo mpolampola, people are starting to understand it. But artists who are signing under labels, they lose their creative rights as an artist because manager asalawo buli kimu. So it doesn't matter what's in your head because buli artist mukama ina kyamutedde mutwe gwe n'omutima gwe naye bw'obeera under a label gobeera ye manager byayogera. So I want to be a real artist and build it and make it successful. Kubanga ekyo tekibangawo naddala mu in female artists. So kyendyogezako kuzimba kyova olaba ndi consistent ekintu nkiremeddeko. Sometimes I do concerts nezitakwatayo, I keep going. Sometimes I have negative media against me, I still keep going. It doesn't matter because I'm building something.
When it comes to music, of course, branding, most people don't understand what actually it means. When it comes to music, you're a star, you're a celebrity, and you're an icon. What does it take for someone to become a brand?
A brand. It takes time, first of all.
Okay.
It takes time. You cannot fake a brand, not for too long. People will still see it. You know, chiringa wonoga antinoba ebizigo. You know, move it. I'll give an example. That tosobola faking anti move it akola. Osobola kulimba abantu mu mpapula na buli kimu. Naye omuntu waba musize batu ku skin natakola, your brand is dead. You know, so you cannot fake a brand. So you have to create something that you know you can do. You know, give people information that you know you can actually achieve. That's how you build a brand. Because you can tell people as much as you want to Nzowakabi, Nza singer. But when you get on stage and get on that microphone and you do not prove it, your brand is dead. So brand is everything. It is 60% of your career. How beautiful you are, it's just a bonus, you know. How amazing you are in interviews, every just bonus. The main thing is, can your brand stand the test? You know, where you're a telephone company, network atakola. So it's really 60% of your career. You have to build your brand. So a brand is generally picking something that you can do and doing it to the best of your ability. To the point that when people think about performance, they think Cindy. When people think about a phone network, they think a particular company. So that is how you build a brand.
So, because discussing music professionally, I want to go music for some good years. East Africa and Africa at large. Yes, we had some good musicians who are professional, who are artistic, who can compose things that can actually cross borders. Yes. But some people claim that yes, it's fading away, and a few people are still sticking on the brands. Yes. We still have few brands.
Yes.
We have those strong brands consistent comparing with other countries that are competing nazo.
First of all, we are phasing out, slowly phasing out from artists who are actually talented. Until artists performer, they actually perform. See Mugambo, see Haipunaenga, this is an actual artist. We are fading out right now to another artist in Amazimadala Simuyembi.
True.
You know, but you know, brandy and the company, you know, and finally we have to believe, you know, the awards have done the same things every year to year. They award artists who are not talented. So when they get out of the country, and then that is what is representing Uganda, people are like, my Uganda, so Uganda has nothing, you know, because that's what we are doing. Time here for a year, Wamala, the African bands, they were original. So we don't see the chicho. Katibu, where is Africa? No gamba Africa to you. Somebody's like, this is nice. Let me take it to the US. Let me take it to Brazil. Let me take it. But when we send our artists, our so-called artists, because they have nothing to show. But that's what our industry has been pushing. That is how they're killing the industry. Artists right now, because you're under management, you constantly have to produce a hit. So that means you're producing any because constantly you're hit. The music industry in Uganda has no diversity. Unless of course you go and look for the artists who are not mainstream, you'll find so much talent. Nayate one of mainstream to get funa, you know. So that is why our music is phasing out.
Very good. Abantu bombamu, like they misplace words or they misuse words. Ebigambo celebrity, icon, star, times to bagenda abantu banya bata sijaga ntenzo kuba butabamu tabimanya bulungi. Do we really have celebrities in Uganda, and to you, how many celebrities government into the entertainment industry or imiyaku grounds no government no they are really celebrities, and the trend or abantu bakopingako to emulate their actions? Do you feel the celebrity world in Uganda exists? Who are those people who have maintained the trend?
We do have celebrities in Uganda, not so many, but we do have some celebrities now. People, celebrity means somebody people celebrate.
True.
People celebrate not only when you're on stage, and jumping around. When somebody sits there, they are proud to mention your name. That means they celebrate you. There are people, for example, you'd say Chameleon, that's an actual celebrity. It doesn't matter where he goes. People sit down at home and they are proud of Chameleon, whether he's there or he's not there, because of what he has done for the industry. For the women, for us, it will be like Joanita Kawalia. When she shows up, we all like, because she has paved the way for women. Say, I'll talk about Namakula as well. We all call her Mama for some reason, because we feel that way. So whether such people are there, Juliana, whether they are there or not, in our hearts we have that warmth towards who they are. So that means we celebrate them inside, not just because, like, hey, that is just excitement because you're popular, not you're a celebrity. So we have those few celebrities between now who, when we think about in our hearts, we're happy to have lived in their era. So we still have those celebrities, we do, but they're actually few. Everybody else is just a popular artist. Somebody feels like, in Amulabako someone, I've seen this about them, but not like they're a celebrity, no. So I think sometimes even these slay queens and all that, they think they're celebrities because somebody feels like they've seen you before. But nobody sits there and celebrates who you are because you don't represent anything, So we do have the celebrities.
okweyongerayo kiki ekimakinga omuntu obeera celebrity kuba waliwo abantu abamixing oba batawulatabula ebintu kitwalira ki omuntu okubeera iconic celebrity and a star?
Time is very important for somebody to be a celeb. It's time. It's not something that you force onto people. It's time and consistency. Omuntu gyayongera okuwulira nti okola ebirungi, and then they start to celebrate you. They start to be happy that they were there in your era that you lived. So that's why artists are told and all these new people, that's why you can't call them celebrities. They are not yet at that level. Most of these people, if you cross over after 300 kilometers, nobody knows them. Outside Kampala, tell him oh my God, that is Gundi. Kenya, Tanzania. So to be a celebrity, to be an icon, takes time. Takes time. I don't think anybody should focus on it. Let it just happen from the success and how good you are. But nobody should think, I want to be a celebrity. No, it shouldn't be a focus. I think the first thing is just to perfect your art and stay good. And then the celebrity status will just come automatically after that.
The world, and I think the world at large, yes, it still commemorates and still remembers Moses Radio. Of course, very soon we are going to be celebrating, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years or 1 year.
Yes.
Ever since he left. Now, I would love to pick your thoughts. Do you feel, is it enough the way we're going to celebrate him, because they are going to, his grave is going to become a museum? I don't know, your thoughts. How best can we celebrate people like him and even other people so as we don't forget them?
Okay, we have celebrated so many artists that we've lost, but nobody has ever done it like the way we're doing it for radio. So I feel like, first of all, it will never be enough, but it is something. So I am happy that people are actually doing something. They didn't do the same for Eli Wamala. We didn't do the same, you know what I mean, for all those people, like there are people who wrote the national anthems and all. We're not doing this for all of them, but radio made us see talent in a different way. So people are recognizing talent, and anything is is good. You know what I mean? I would take anything because they're actually recognizing, because before they were not. So if we're going to make his grave a museum, it's an amazing thing.
Okay.
It's an amazing thing. I'm sure everybody else, even Eli Wamala and these other artists, will be happy that finally somebody is recognizing their talent in that way. So I feel like it's still good. Whatever is happening is still good, that we're still remembering radio.
In a bit to commemorate for our slain brother, Radio, any a cappella or any one of his favorite songs from you, you can actually give viewers a cappella from.
I like Tuchikole Nera, 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 Nera. That has to be the for me, it's the best composition that he ever did. Before that, we had his verse in that song where it goes Rohoni unanitesa kishenzi natamani kuwa right there where you are baby unanitesa kishenzi nakuwaza boy I'm looking for you. He had amazing lyrics, melodies that you'd never heard, you know. Before that, we had very few people who could write like that. I can only remember Silver Chagulani, who wrote deep love songs, and then came radio. So who missed that?
Could show you, will we have that session, or could remembering radio, because many artists have been doing that on their shows.
Yeah. I've done that before on my other live shows that I've done, even here at Fusion and at Nexus. But I would love to have, like, you know, something, because radio had an impact on all of our lives. And when you do a big concert, you cannot not remember radio. You know what I mean? Like, you have to remember those moments, those magical moments he had at his concerts and all this. So I would love to do, if I could fix it, I would do it. Yes.
Wali lakwabera nyo olakoke ne radio. Ekibuzo kyontera nnyo kibuuza abantu, what made radio so different nga namwe mukifiiringa, and many people kubeera nga bakyamujjukira, they still actually don't believe that he left.
Yes.
What made radio so different?
What made radio different was his honesty.
Okay.
We artists live in fear of annoying people every day. We live in fear of annoying people, losing people's love, people's trust. Every single day we want to keep people loving us, Borijo. So radio, for the first time, an artist was totally honest with who he was. When he did not like Baby Cool, he didn't like him. He didn't care that you like him, you know. When he was murdered, for example, that time with UPRS, we were sitting in a meeting and trying to discuss the piracy, and UPRS is part of it. So when we're talking, everybody is trying to be civil. And when one of the representatives from UPRS got the mic, radio got up and pulled it from him and stood on top of a table and told him, "You are the thieves we're talking about." That honesty is what we miss about radio.
Okay. When
radio was out in a club and he just wants to party, and a fan came to him, he told the fan plain and simple, you know, like we artists cannot do that, you know. You'll be like, you're reading your brand, or you know, and all this. We live constantly in the fear of annoying people, you know, talking about other artists. Radio will tell you plain and clear, this person is not talented, you know, or this person is lousy as a human being. That honesty is what impacted all of us. It's what inspired us, like, oh my God, I wish I could be like radio. I wish I could open up like him. And he took it to a next step further. They're the first artists who actually dissed a club. You know, when it goes, you know, so I was like, what? That is career suicide, you know, because that's one club, and it's one of the biggest clubs in Uganda that he dissed. Is like, you know, you know, it's like, I hate your club. You know, clubs are what builds us, you know. People go there and you want them to play your music. Radio's like, I don't care if you play my music ever again. I'm going to sing of how lousy your club is, how much I don't like it. So that honesty is how he impacted all of us.
Okay.
You know, because music, we all sing, you know, we all wake up one day and write. He wrote amazing songs, yes, but that honesty was never there, isn't there in the industry at the moment. No artist can take such risks that he took.
I agree with you on the
Yes.
issue of the honesty. Nowadays we see actually musicians, stroke artists, being used by different politicians.
Yes.
Well, I think it's not the same thing. I haven't seen you anywhere actually.
No, I'm not doing that.
And let me pick your thoughts. Why haven't you joined that trend? Do you have enough money? Because according to my survey, most of them, they're just looking for money, just for quick money, getting money from politicians. Why hasn't Cindy stepped on stages to perform for politicians, and why haven't you joined the trend?
Okay. First of all, I have my own money. You know, I'm living well, and I am blessed. I'm a millionaire. You know, I can't stress that enough. Financially, I'm fine. So I do not. I can't say I can't buy everything I want, but there's nothing that I feel like I can never get. You know, most of the things I feel like if I save, if I work harder, if I stay consistent, I will make this much money to buy this car, to build this house, all of that. I'm at a moment in my life where I am hopeful that I can get everything I want. So financially, I'm not looking for somebody to help me. I'm not, you know, saying government, where are you at any point, you know, in my life. So that's the first point. The other thing is that I know that the fans that love us, that support us every single day, have very different political views. And politics affects them very deeply. Sometimes we as artists think it's a joke, you know. We don't think politics is that important, so I can play around with it, you know. We don't understand that politics affects every decision, even you being here and me being here. Politics actually rules us every single day, but we don't get it. We think it's a small issue. So I may support one team and really it has wronged you. It has made your life impossible. It has made business impossible for you. It has killed your people, you know. And much as you love me, this, because of how much it's affected you, you're going to hate me, you know, because you're like, how do you support a team that did this to me, you know? I loved your music, but now, you know what, forget it, I don't like you. So I understand both sides of the political world, so I prefer to keep my views to myself. Not that I don't support a particular crew, no. I definitely have a team that I support, but I prefer to stay quiet and wait for the moment that counts, and that is when I enter that booth and vote for my candidate. For me, that's the moment that matters. We may shout as much as we want and make all this noise and be as angry as we want to be, but if we don't vote for the right leader, all this will be for nothing. So I'm waiting for where my words and my vote actually counts, and I will vote for that leader. But I'm not going to be here and divide my people, no.
This is fun and ironical. Is Cindy actually taking the same food other musicians take?
The same?
Food. Because the intelligence and the brilliance, I don't know whether, I don't know whether it is the same food even we feed on as people. But well, okay, that was funny. Like just a simple thing. Would you advise artists, your fellow artists, to join politics, and what impact does that leave to the industry?
First of all, I would not advise an artist who wants to further their career as an artist to join politics, you know. I don't even know why that's happening, because in the very beginning, how we all got onto this is because of Bobi Wine. And you've seen how Bobi Wine's career musically has basically died. He had to pick a side and do politics. So why would you do the same thing when even the role model is showing you that you cannot mix the two? You know, so that means obviously that's what's going to happen. So if you want to further your musical career, first leave politics alone, or support politics where it matters, and that's when you vote. You know, not when you come here and talk, you know, and ask for money everywhere. So I think if you want to sing, leave politics alone. If you're done with singing, then join politics for real. You know what I mean? If you're going to be part of a party, campaign, do everything for them. Just don't come on stage and sing for the rest of us, you know? Leave us alone. In our misery or whatever, let us be. Don't come and try and entertain us when we know that you belong to a party that some people don't like. So I think they'll have to pick or choose one of them.
I wouldn't love to create hard time for you. Would you vote for your fellow artists in case anyone comes on, even if it's a top seat? Would you vote for them?
As I think for voting for somebody, you have to see their manifesto and see what they can do for us, you know, like for real. Like for real, what can you do for us? Are you actually an intelligent person? Because I am trusting you with my country, not just my entertainment, because entertainment is easy. I'm just going to come and dance with you and all of that, you know. So when it comes to everything else, you have to look at the manifesto and look at this person. Is this really what they want to do for real, not because they are looking for government money? And then that's how I'll decide.
Well, okay, I have a lot of compliments, but well, coming to okay, now your counterpart Shiba, recently she has a new project that's actually, truthfully, it will impact the lives of so many ladies and women, all girls as well. Okay. Coming with a brand of a certain sanitary pads. Okay. What's your take on that? And does Cindy, do you have any options of even having something to help the girl child?
First of all, that's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing if she's going to advocate for children, you know, girls to be availed with pads, you know, because some, especially girls who have just started, you know, their bodies have just grown into that part of womanhood. It's amazing that she would support something like that. And also some people would think it's a bad thing to talk about, but it's actually so real in our lives of how much girls just need a pad, you know, because some cannot get it. So I would congratulate her to be for being part of something like that. So if I had the opportunity, you know, to do something like that, I would definitely go for it. I would.
Quick chap, if we have Cindy into any leadership position, I'm not saying that yes, you're vying for that,
yes,
but in case you grab that opportunity, you're in leadership, what are some of the changes you love to make anywhere that can take the next generations actually of this nation forward?
Most people, when they join politics, they come with a very good reason, you know. They come with very good conviction of, I want to change my village, my you know, my constituency when they come and campaign. What the problem is that it stops being a reality in a very short time. You know, after 6 months or 1 year, they've already given up on it, and suddenly we see them in the parliament debating things like the government paying for their OTT. You know what I mean? Like the most useless things, having MPs asking for 200 shillings per day from the government. It's like that is so disappointing. So my thing is, if I entered into politics, I think it would be a progressive thing. Just the way that I've handled my career is, I believe that when you promise people something, you have to deliver. Okay, at least 50%, banange, you know, like swalako, you know, because in 5 years, either you're going to come back or you're going to live with us with all the things that you failed to do. You still come back. When people become political, they think they're invincible. Like they're not humans anymore, because you actually have a responsibility to do this, whether you stay on or you don't. When you get off, you're a public enemy to all your people. When you stay on, you're still responsible for what you promised. So if I did that, I would be consistent.
Okay.
Yes.
Chichi cholaba gap abatuleka, cause Nigeria, Ghana and some good countries zigenda taking a step in the entertainment industry, more so the music industry jolimu. Fechichi chetutakola boche bakola cholaba chetugamba nti if we change here, we can actually go ahead of them.
Tetuewagira all the way from the government to us the artists, to all the lowest class of people. We don't support each other. When a Ugandan businessman wants to start a business, he finds it harder than a Chinese who comes to this country to do business, you know. He will pass through way more problems than a foreigner who comes here. So in every way, Tetuewagira, people will support a foreign artist at Lugogo Cricket Oval, who is like 50,000 shillings and 100,000, than say, for example, Gravito Mutuchu, who is like 10K, 15,000. You know what I mean? And you wonder why, because it's our own blood. So we need to change this culture from the government to everybody, you know, from URA to all these people, to NADS who do roads, to all the companies that actually handle these things that are responsible. If you try and make roads in Uganda better for us, we will move faster. So money, you know, things like making money needs us to be able to move faster. The internet has to be better so that we can communicate. But then we have to buy the internet. We have to pay the taxes for the internet. The roads only last at most 6 months, you know, so we can't move. I'm trying to connect my business from here to Arua, but instead of the usual 8 hours, I'm going to drive for 16 hours because, you know, so by the time I get there, my business deal is ruined. Or I will give up along the way. You know what? Neighbor. You know, instead of doing big things. So, you know, make it easier for business people to do this. Make it easier. It's so hard to import even a car into this country. You know, we import the most useless things, like we import mobility. That is imported. It's written on made in China for a matchbox, for a toothpick. You know, because they make it impossible for Ugandan to do it. Taxes and China and they make it so easy for them and they sell. So if we don't do that, there's nowhere we're going. Nigerians know what our music industry are because Nigeria is supporting. Their awards are for them. Whatever they say, we're doing this for Africa, is only for Nigeria. They don't do it for the rest of us. So, ne businesses are when that's how Nigeria is going everywhere. And all these other countries, South Africa, all those guys support each other. We need to restart the career of supporting Ugandans, all the way from the government to the last person. Yes. Do you buy the idea of actually virtually every month an international artist? More so even every year actually we fly in those Nigerians to come and perform in our country. Do you buy the idea of actually importing international talents year in, year out, without even supporting our own staunchly or exhaustively? Yes. I like having different talents come into the country. Matter of fact, it's nice to see different types of music, you know? It's nice for entertainment. But the only problem is that is the way they support foreign artists is where the problem is. If, for example, Weesibe was coming into Uganda and was coming here in a month, and I brought in my proposal to the biggest companies, they would all listen to me and avail me the money in 1 week. If it's a Ugandan artist, they'll tell you no, or no, you should have approached us 5 months ago, you know, so that we can think about you and talk about it and consider and all this. They're so lazy with their own people than they are with foreign artists, you know. That is why these days when those shows flop, we artists are like, yeah, you know, may they flop even more, you know, so that they can look at us, you know, so that they can see us more. So I love having other talents, but I really love it if our companies supported us more. The media, everybody, I wish they supported us more. So recognizing the best, yes. In Africa, female and male, Baimbi Chibola ba serious singer. They are good, and if opportunity is available and availed to you, you can have a collab with them. All over Africa? Yes, first, all over Africa. Let me start with the legend, Angelique Kidjo. Okay. I would love to work with that woman. Nobody knows she has won 2 Grammys. You know what I mean? I have more followers than her on Instagram. But she's an amazing artist. I could never compare her, you know? But that's a woman that if I worked with, I would pinch myself the entire time. I respect her. I love her music and how far she has been able to take it. And she doesn't care if you know about it, you know. She's not about promoting herself on social media and all these things. She's actually about what matters, and that's the music. So among these younger artists, I think I would say I'd love to work with Mafiki Zolo, Yemi Alade, Fally Ipupa, you know. That I would love to do that. I really wanted to work with Cynthia Morgan, but now she has phased out. Okay. But while she was still relevant, I wanted to work with her. And back home? And back home, I still want to work with Baby Cool. This collaboration has to happen at a certain moment, you know. What people don't know is that Baby Cool is one of those strong role models in my life. Okay. When I left Blue 3, even when I was in Blue 3, I used to watch his performance, and I loved his performance. Everybody else seemed to come on stage and jump around, you know, but his was planned and it was energetic and it was, you know, all these things that he does with his body language, and I loved it and I studied it. I looked at it so much. When I left Blue 3 and I met him once, he told me, one thing that you need to concentrate on is performance, because women are not doing that. They are coming on stage and pointing at people, you know, and being sexy and gracious. So he said what you can do is change your performance, and that will be you. That's how I started. So I started putting in more energy into it and putting it into choreography because he gave me that like 1 minute lecture, you know, about performing. So he's very important to my career. I really want to finish that collaboration.
And to the female artists?
To the female artists, for a long time I wanted to work with Juliana, and I finally did. We did a song called Mama. We've just never gotten time to do the video together. When I was free, she's busy. When she's free, I'm busy. So we haven't yet. But apart from her, I would love to work with Winnie Nwaji.
Winnie Nwaji?
Yes.
How about Shiba Kalungi?
Well, I have mixed thoughts. I have very mixed thoughts about working with her. I feel like me working with her would not be good for her career. Yes, because when you work together, people compare you. You know what I mean?
So you mean they won't compare you with Winnie Nwaji? Winnie
Nwaji's talent is almost there. You know what I mean? I feel like if I sat with her, we can almost level up talent-wise. You know, I feel like when it's done, there will not be that thing of people say good is better, because everybody has their strengths which are really strong. So that's why I feel like I want to work with Winnie.
So would you still call for a collab between you and Shiba?
At the moment, no.
Okay.
At the moment, no. I feel like she needs to grow into it.
What are the best 5 things one must actually anticipate for towards your concert? Those 5 things you say that yes, you shouldn't miss this.
First of all, a woman headlining at Lugogo Cricket Oval. That has not happened. Secondly, live music. You know, you have not seen live music the way I do it. So you need to come and experience it. Thirdly, it's good to have, it has to be, every time I do my performance, my little performances, I always bring it. But this time, I want to multiply it by 10. You know, not just my energy, but the dancers, the band. I'm adding more instruments into the band and getting more talent into it. Because right now, we just have the basic, which is like drums, keyboard, 2 guitars, you know, and singers. So now I want to add more singers, more keyboards, more dancers to it. You know what I mean? I want to bring, there's a saxophone into it, percussion into it, so the music is like that richer, you know, like it's like Cindy but like times 10. So the choreography is going to be there, as many dancers as can dance. You know, because there are many, but not everybody can kill it. So as many as can dance is what I'm bringing to that show. It's my show, what you usually see on a small stage, but now multiply it by like 10. You know, on a much bigger stage, much more speakers, as many speakers as I can gather, you know, so you guys can feel the music.
There is that one video I watched, and I still watch it over and over again, of you doing a cover of Lucky Dube. I would love, I don't know any song apart from that. I think that will make not even my day, my month, I think.
I understand. Which song is that I did of
Kiss No Frog?
Kiss No Frog.
Yeah.
Now the thing about Lucky Dube was my favorite artist as a child. We grew up with his tapes. Every album that came out, my mother would bring home. So all those songs, I remember that the first song, because I grew up at home without my father. My father died when I was 2. So basically I didn't know my dad. So when there's that song called Daddy, wherever you are, remember me in whatever you do. I love you. Even now I'm singing it and I want to cry. Because it made me, I felt like I was sending a message to my dad without seeing him. There are moments in my life when I want him to be there, like I miss his presence. And as a child, it really affected me. And sometimes I'd see how vulnerable my mother was, and I would think, if dad was here, he would defend her, he would help her. So that song, I grew up with it. I would sing it and somehow feel like I connected with my father. So Lucky Dube's music has been part of my life since I was a child.
Okay.
Yes.
So, briefly about there is this problem as well that's which is affecting a lot of talented ladies like you about marriage. When someone gets into marriage, they literally fade out. If they don't fade out, they continue struggling too much, even though they have the talent.
Yes.
Do you believe that yes, at times marriage kills talent?
Well, marriage most of the time kills talent, most of the time. because the men in Africa, okay, I don't know about everywhere, but men in Africa are raised to be egotistic. They are raised to rule even more than maybe other cultures, you know. I can't claim to know everyone, but African culture is the man wants to rule over the wife, you know. So as an artist, when you get married, the man wants to feel like, you know, they can still rule over you. They want you to be submissive, and for them that means they don't want to see you dress a certain way. They don't want to see other men admiring you or even just looking at you. So because of that, they cannot take it that you're out there in the public and you're being sexy towards other people and other men are watching you and admiring you. They can't take it. So if they put a ring on it, they, you know, that's like their stamp on it, like, you know what, stop doing this because I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't like other men talking about you like that, you know, because when you go on stage, men start to imagine things about you and talk about you sexually in a certain way. So as a husband, he does not want to hear that. So the only way for him to do that is stop you from doing that. You know, so that's how the artists slowly, to keep the peace, they have to phase out of the music industry.
How should marriage and music or entertainment or talent be aligned together for one not to fade out?
I think in the very beginning as artists, you need to be honest with your partner. You need to tell them that I still want to be an artist. It doesn't matter if I'm your husband or if I'm your wife or I am the mother of your children, I still want to do this. So is this something you can handle? If you can't handle, leave me alone, you know? Or, you know, if I'm willing to compromise from day one, we should be honest. Most of the time we want to get married so much, we don't want to say certain things, you know, because we really just want to be married so that we can have that credit on our names as Mrs., as Obambiya Fumbidwa, you know, out of millions of women. So because of that, we keep quiet about so many things. So when you get married, it suddenly it's a reality and you have to face it. So if you still want your career, be honest with the man and tell him, I still really want to sing. How can we make this happen? And then talk your way through it, and then you get there. There's so many couples that are married. We see Beyonce and Jay-Z all the time. She's still just as big, and she still used to perform and still bring his man on stage, you know, and show you guys this is my man, but still be sexy and be Beyonce, you know. But I think it's because it comes with somebody understanding, and you know, so you build his trust slowly and his confidence as a man that it doesn't matter how you look into other people, you still belong to him. But that's something you build with time in a relationship.
Where the marriage breakups actually rampant, more so in the entertainment industry, is it a problem of just time? Where is the problem? Because we're asking someone who is very, very conversant with this topic. What causes marriage breakups more so in the new industry?
I think. Oh, okay. I think obuzibu obubawo mu bufumbo obw'aba artist is that twagala nnyo okufumbirwa first of all, ate kubanga twagala okufumbirwa tetwagala kwogera ku bintu ebimataringa. For example, first of all, sente. Esente zaawula abafumbo all the time, not just in the entertainment industry but buli omu, you know. As people, you want to understand how you deal with your money. Kati sometimes when people get married, artists asalawo nti no bawe yagenda omukwatira sente, yagenda ofuuka manager, buli kimu akikwasaganye, and then after some time no finding out no bawe sente zo yazinyweredde mu kiduula, you know, oba yeegulidde engato, yeegulidde ebintu mu sente zo, so nekifuuka ekizibu in a relationship. Then nekyo okuba nti bawe ayagala okyusa style ye yenyambala buli kimu, bafaani bwe bakumanyidde nti gwe Cindy bw'ojja ku stage obalagako ku magulu, you know, suddenly ofumbiddwa otandisa okwebikira wenna kati bakyakutegeera, so you lose your audience n'ogiluzinga. So sometimes in marriage omukazi naye no choosing oba ayagala career yo oba ayagala baawe. So most of the times that's what leads to a breakup. Nagamba nyeki, I really still want to sing, so oba tokyagala tukiveeko.
Kati twalabako Rema nga ayogedde ku kyakudda ku ssomero naye graduatingeko. Wali otuddeko awo n'okirowoozaako nange sindi ngende ku ssomero, like campus I graduate something like
Omanyi fenna as kids tugenda ku ssomero so that in the future you get a job. That's why we go to school. Otherwise as a kid nali ssomero lyagala saaligenze, but because they keep telling you kulobere doctor osobola okuyamba mama wo ne taata wo, kati nze ndi position already ndikola sente zange, you know, I'm doing everything that I could do from education, so why would I go back to school? You know, why would I pause my life and my career that is giving me the life that I dreamed of and then go to school. There's no point. If I need an accountant, I will hire one because I can afford to pay one. Whatever, if I need an engineer or all these things, a doctor, I will hire one and pay them. So I don't need to go and be a doctor. No, I'll just pay one to do that for me. So I don't see the need of me going back to school. No, I won't.
Okay, your final remarks, and I think an a cappella of that song that next. Your final remarks to your fans and an a cappella to them.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting Ugandan talent, because chinechichuze chizimba mpola mpola netujamu abakongo abanigeria netubakendezako kumanyi, you know, because of your support. So thank you so much for supporting Ugandan talent, not just me but everybody in the industry. Mwebale nyo tutuusa wano wetuli. And I'd like to invite you all again to my concert on the 7th of March. Chigenda kuba kya kabinyo temukirabangako. Era come and be with me. Naddala abakyala is the Women's Day weekend. The next day genda kuba Women's Day, so you don't have an excuse, okay? Come party with me at the Boom Party concert at the Gogo Cricket Oval on the 7th of March. And you guys, I love you so much. God bless you. Shorty make a boom party, boom my body. Let's make a boom party for me, yeah.